Relaxing? Okay.
Mother's Day.
Mother Day? Yeah. So what did you do for the Mother Day?
Nothing. It was beautiful. I stayed in my bed.
Stayed in your bed?
That's what she wanted to do.
That's all I wanted to do. I don't like to do anything.
Why?
Well, if you can root back, I had a sedentary childhood. I never left the house. So I created a habit of being alone and playing by myself and living in my head. So that's what I enjoy doing as an adult. And I'm an empath and I absorb people's energies. And so it's very difficult for me to be around other humans without experiencing what they're experiencing. So I like to be by myself. So it was a great joy. My kids all came and hung around me, and you know, at any given time I had a child mommy me and laying on top of me, and hubby came and showed me appreciation. And yeah, all I asked for was everyone to send me either a text or a letter explaining to me how I have impacted their life. That's all I wanted. And I got it from most everybody.
That's good. Okay. The issue is not materialistic, it's rather human touch. Again. From your kids.
Yep.
So yeah, it's important for them to regard this day.
Yes, me. Oh.
Yeah, yeah, it is important. It's important to sense that you are valued by your family.
Yes.
As a mother.
Yes.
You are a mother.
Darn real.
Yeah, and it's an occasion for you to celebrate. Doesn't matter to be materialistic again.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a show.
Yeah, but the feelings. Feeling that this is your day.
Yep. Amen.
Yeah, good. All right. And
it was about the show. She wanted me to put on the show when I gave her the flowers and cards.
No.
And I said, and I was like, happy birthday, Mother's Day, and I love you very much, and she wanted more.
I didn't say I want more. So what happened was the boys
and then they tore my flowers.
No, what happened was the boys walked in the room. We have 2 sons together.
okay.
The youngest one walks in with a single long stem rose. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful, you know. And then he gives me the rose. And then the second one walks in with a single long stem rose. And then Dre walks in. He just walks in the room because he got to put something in the room. And I was just like, that would have been totally awesome, just conceptualizing. I was like, that would have been totally awesome if the youngest one walked in, and then the oldest one walked in, and then the father walked in, all with a single long stem rose, acknowledging me as mom. That's all I said. And then when he came in, he had the roses in a card, and he said, here, happy Mother's Day. Or happy birthday, whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't care that he stumbled over birthday and Mother's Day. It's the fact that he just walked up to me, handed me some flowers, and said, here, happy Mother's Day. And I was like, because my current love language is affirmations, acts of service, and kind of physical touch, not really. So for me, it's the presentation of it all. It's the thought of it all. I am here to honor you. So what is the greatest way that I can honor you? By handing you some roses from the grocery store and saying, here, happy Mother's Day, or saying, hey, I want to honor you this day. And you can either do it in presentation, i.e., okay, boys, you go, then I go, boom, that's going to have impact. Or when you do hand it to me in act like this moment matters and it's not like any other moment, right? I could get 30 seconds of special instead of here you go. And so what happened was, because he planted the seed in the boy's head to take the flowers apart, you know, soon as he brought the flowers and put them on the bed, Michael, our oldest, which is 7, took the flowers. What?
Oldest.
He's the oldest between us.
I just said oldest like a name.
Oh, anyway,
Oldest.
he starts pulling the flowers out of the bouquet, and I'm like, what are you doing? He was like, well, when you finish talking, I want to throw the flowers on you. And I was like, okay, well, cool. And then somehow that turned into them having a war with the flowers and hitting each other with the flowers. And I was like, well, you know, they're flowers, you know. That's what they want to do. So I don't know if he took that personally. I was like, I didn't throw I got my single one stem rose. I kept one from them so they didn't tear up all the roses. I have one of those roses that I kept for myself. And if they chose to play with it because they were having fun, they're going to die anyway. Let them have the fun.
They're kids.
They're kids. They had fun and they played with the roses, and I kept one for myself.
They serve the purpose by
Yep.
handing out the roses to you.
Yeah.
And then they want to get excited about it.
Yeah.
So they had what they had. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're funny.
I don't think it was a form of disrespect. I think it was the kids wanted the. I'm like, Lord Jesus, they're going to tear something up. And I kept one rose for myself, you know. But I told him, and it's like, until he learns how to give me flowers, I'm not going to respect those flowers. Until he learns how to gift me properly the way that I'm asking him to gift me, which means it needs to have moment. Don't just hand me something and say, hey, happy birthday. I don't want that anymore. I want, hey, I know today's a special day for you. I'm honoring you by giving you this. You ain't got to have no big, huge speech. Just acknowledge me besides just plopping something down in front of me.
Lonnie,
Yes, dear.
we don't want things to be all or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He did something,
Yeah, and I take it.
and he did something good out of good intentions,
Yeah.
out of good heart.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's not perfect.
Yeah, so next time.
Maybe not. Okay, if I want this behavior to be enhanced
I
or
got it.
improved,
I got to tell him, right?
I would appreciate whatever he did.
I did.
Thank you. It was nice of you.
I did.
Yes, you did.
Okay. And also, let me tell you how what makes me feel more excited, more happy
Mm-hmm.
if something more elements got into
Mm-hmm.
your presentation.
Yep.
And I would pinpoint some elements. But you did good, I would
Mhm.
give him the credit first.
I did. I gave him the credit. Look, when my first feedback about it simply was in the moment because the boys walked in and he just happened to immediately walk in, and I was just like, oh, that would have been dope if it wasn't a criticism, it was an observation of, it would have really been cool because I wasn't expecting him to walk in. I wasn't expecting a show. It was just like one kid walked in with a single red rose, another kid walked in with a single red rose, and then he just happened to walk in the room, and I was like, oh, that would have been really cool.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't you messed up because you should have, It wasn't none of that energy. I was like, that would have been really freaking cool if that would have happened. And so he handed me my roses, and I said, thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate this.
Yeah.
But what I would like to see going forward, and I told him this before, so this is the second time I've given him feedback on how he presents things to me. I said, my love language is no longer gift giving. Like before, you hand me $100 bill, I'm like, woo, I don't care, just give me what I want. But now it's like, okay, why are you giving this to me? Like, what was your thought process? How am I important? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody thinks just because money's important to you, that it's important to other people. But to some people, it's like just cast off. Here, take it. So there's no feeling there. So I need to know what you're feeling when you're giving this to me going forward.
Yes, this is the issue we talked last time about Andre being more talkative, talk more,
Mm-hmm.
because he's nice from inside, and he does the action out of good heart,
Mm-hmm.
but he does not express it out loud verbally as much as needed,
That she would like.
Which is
as you like. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah. So, we need to facilitate, yeah, or help him to be more talkative.
He's doing better. This
Yeah.
morning he had a problem he was trying to solve with the radio, and I helped him solve the problem. And he was like, I didn't even think about doing that. Thank you. I appreciate it. So he's doing better with communicating things. And it's not like, thanks. It's, no, I didn't think about that. You're letting me know how I was a service to you.
Wow.
And that's what I want. I don't
Yeah.
want, we live in a society where it's just like, thanks, cool, my bad, none of that. No, what are you sorry for? What are you thankful for? That way I know what you saw of what I did for you. And if I want to evoke gratitude from you, I know how to show up with you going further forward. I know how to show up for you going forward because you communicated to me. You said, hey, this is what I appreciate. Mental note, this is what he appreciates. So going forward, I know how to show up for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in that's a form of gift giving because I'm paying attention to you and I'm showing up for you physically, verbally, whatever. So I'm still giving
Exactly.
gifts. I'm just showing up a different way.
Okay. Because psychology is about three things:
Mm-hmm.
thoughts, feelings, actions.
Mm-hmm.
If we just show actions, even the action that we show, they are out of our feelings and thoughts. But the only part that is shown is the action. And this is only a segment of us.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to show segments of us. We want to show the totality of us, the wholeness of
The
us.
wholeness.
This is me.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I think. This is how I feel.
Yeah.
This is what I do.
Yeah.
That's the totality of me.
Yeah.
Instead of, okay, that's for you.
Yeah.
That's the action.
Yeah.
I know it represents my thoughts and my feelings, but
Mhm.
still my thoughts and feelings are hidden.
Yeah.
I don't want to hide my thoughts and let them get out.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah, we function, so we acknowledge 5 senses. So if we just acknowledge our 5 senses, touch, smell, sight, yada yada.
Hearing.
Hearing. Okay, so I feel it's best practice to everything you do, you evoke all 5 senses. So you're appealing to as many things as, so for psychology, you're appealing to the 3 things, the heart,
The mind,
the
action,
action, the mind,
the
the heart,
behavior.
and the behavior.
Yeah.
So if psychology is those 3 things, then everything I do, I need to be an expression of heart, mind, and behavior. It's not just one. So that is an intentional thing. I'm giving you flowers. Yes, this is an expression of my heart. But here, now I'm physically doing this, and I'm also telling you why I'm doing this and all these different things. But what I want to address is how he said, this is how she wants it to happen with her. He always says that. And I'm like, Dre, when you are interacting with me, I want it to be how I want to be interacted with. Sam has a different set of standards of how Sam wants to be communicated with. Lonnie has a different set of standards that Lonnie wants to be communicated with. So for him to say, why do I got to do all this for you? Well, because you're talking to me, and that's how I want to be talked to. And again, I make the same adjustments for him when he communicates those things to me. But for me, I want more words. I want the psychology. I want the heart. I want the touch. I want the mind. I want all 3 when you talk to me, because I give you all 3. And that's what is valuable to me. And I'm not going to diminish my value of self and others simply because you feel like I'm challenging you to push yourself when you talk to me. Well, everybody should be pushing you and challenging you, but I'm the one in your life that's doing it. So show up for me. You could operate at less capacity with everybody else, but when you come to me, I want your best.
Yeah,
And I don't think that should be a problem.
of course. And the reason why we want to make our thoughts and feelings shown to the other, because we don't want to get misunderstood. because if I show you just my actions, the action may interpret it, depends on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
But when I send my message verbally, showing my thoughts and my feelings together with my action, there will be no misunderstanding.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I meant, to make you happy. That's your day. It's a Mother Day. It's lovely day. I want to see the smile on your face. I want to see you excited. I want to enjoy the day with you. You know, you are today. Be my guest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, verbalizing things are, gives the relationship its prosperity, its revival,
His heartbeat.
heartbeat, So, and together with body language, of course, our look, eye contact, very important. My position, like, I'm forwarding my body towards you. I'm not talking, I'm sitting like that, I'm not turning on you. So we try to invest our body, our thoughts, our feelings, our actions for one purpose, that we are for each other, that we love each other, we are available for each other, and we enjoy each other, valuable things.
Agreed.
It's a good day for you. It's a Mother's Day. One day it's gonna be Father's Day, and the family.
That's why I let her have her day. I gave her food. I gave her affirmation. I did everything I was supposed to do.
Yeah, you're doing good.
But
you're doing good.
Talk enough, huh?
No, there's absolutely no complaints about yesterday except for you didn't feed me until the end of the day. But that's it. That's my only observation.
You didn't feed me until the end of the day?
Food is important to me.
Yeah, so there was
breakfast,
a
lunch.
delay.
There was breakfast opportunities. He wanted to go out to eat breakfast. I don't want to go anywhere. By all means, go in that kitchen and cook me something, or go get me something from a store and bring it back. But I don't want to go sit anywhere. I don't like leaving the house. I don't like sitting in restaurants. I don't like going to the movies. I like staying in my house. So if it's a day to honor me, you're definitely not going to lead with, let's go somewhere, And so I guess he didn't feed me till dinner time.
Yeah, this is how you want it. Yeah.
But no complaints. We actually do have an issue, Sam. Mother's Day was beautiful. We were in the backyard. Can I pivot? Let me pivot because we actually do have an issue. We were all talking as a family, and the way that me and my daughter communicate, and you've probably picked this up, is we want to get to know a person. We're not going to have we don't talk about topical things. We talk about things to, we pretty much are psychologists or anyway, you'll figure me out. Anyway, so we're in the backyard and say there's 5 things transpiring at once. So we're listening to music, we're laughing, we're dancing, we're also having thought-provoking conversation, and then we're also having topical conversation. So all these 5 things are happening at once. And so Dre, at some point, because my daughter starts asking him questions, and he's like, man, why y'all keep trying to get to know me? And I'm just like,
no, it's not even even that. It was like they was trying to psychoanalyze me right there at that moment when I was inebriated, chilling, having fun, and now they want to come with some psychoanalysis of me. Like, why you want to get in depth right now? I'm not trying to be that way right now.
And we weren't trying to get there. It was just like, why do you feel that way? I don't think that's deep. Oh, my favorite color is red. Why is your favorite color red? I don't know. Why are you trying to get deep? Because why do you like the color red?
It wasn't no simple.
No, it is. Everything is simple. If somebody asks you why you think something, it should be very simple, because why do you think something? That should be the easiest shit ever to me. So most people, now I get it, Sam. Most people don't think like that. Most people feel like you're doing way too much if you ask them to think about themselves. He's one of those people. But like, he gets defensive. He's like, why do you want to know? Why are you asking me questions? You already know everything about me. No, we don't, or we wouldn't be asking these questions.
Seriously, I do think we've been together for a long time. You know a lot of things about me. And the questions that you asking me, I really think is rhetorical. And the question that she asked me, I thought that was rhetorical, because I know that y'all know these answers. I know you do.
All right, Sam, when we first meet, you say, hey, I'm Sam, I'm married, I have children, yada yada. I live in Mesa, live in Tempe, live in Chandler. Don't know where you live. That's not the point. All right, Sam, that's great. I'm Lonnie. I'm married. Got 8 children. Maybe. I don't know. I got a lot of kids. Live in Phoenix. Nice to meet you. All right. This is the conversation we have when we first meet each other. Now, as we develop our friendship and something comes up and it's like, yeah, I was talking to my son. I'm like, you have a son? You're like, yeah, I told you I have a son. Well, it wasn't relevant to me when you mentioned it. It was just something you mentioned, and it filtered through because it had no anchor point to make sense to me. But now that we're having a conversation again and it's relevant to our conversation, now it's going to click in, and now I'm probably forever going to remember you have a son, because now it has an anchor point for me. That's what I call it, an anchor point. It has meaning to me. So yes, he has told all his stories. I have told all my stories. My daughter has told me countless times, Mom, I've heard this story, but I've never told this story to make this point. So he's only lived one life. It's not like he could go make up a new history. But if there is a point being made, no, listen. You want to be, just listen. Just listen. Can I make my point, though? That's the point. You have your point and you want to stay stuck in your point. But the point, you wouldn't be saying what you're saying if you were receiving my point.
Just making sure that y'all knew that was my point.
That you've made, we know. If we want to, look, I've known you for 14 years. If I don't want to get to know you more, then why the hell are we still talking? Which means you cannot create a whole new history for us to relate to each other. You have to use the exact same history that you have to find new relation points. And for you to not allow me to get to know you more based off of what I've already known about you being packaged in a different way, then I can't get to know you more. Like, one of his stories is how rough he grew up. Okay. I know you grew up rough. I know that you've experienced where bullets have flown past you. You've told me that story. Now I want you to tell me the story from the perspective of how, like, what the hell was going through your head when you saw a bullet fly past your head? Like, yes, you've told me the story. Man, that's the light post where a bullet flew past my head. I know the story. But I don't know what the fuck was going through your head when that moment happened. So now you're retelling the story from a different perspective. Yeah. But he feels he doesn't have to retell the story because I've already asked the story. Okay, well then fine. We ain't got nothing else to talk about.
Yeah. Well, on this matter, since the question that you raised about specific piece of information value to you, I would give it a consideration. I would give it a significance because it matters to you. Mm-hmm. So here in our treatment to each other, we don't try to be like smart something on each other. Mm-hmm. Okay, that we already know. I mentioned to you, why should I repeat myself or whatever? Mm-hmm. Since you raised up this issue, that means it matters to you. Mm-hmm. And since it matters to you, I would consider it as a significant thing
Mm-hmm.
to let you say what you want or what you're looking for. Maybe you know parts of the issue. Maybe there are other parts need to be clarified or to be shed some light on them, you know. So since it matters for you, it matters for me. This is something that we can utilize in the relationship. Doesn't matter if we brought up this issue before, you know.
It's relevant now.
It's relevant now. Now, this issue came to my attention, and maybe I am curious about something or interested in knowing some part of it or some details, or maybe live the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe when you mentioned it the first time, I didn't live the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It passed like that.
Mm-hmm.
But now I want to live the moment.
Mm-hmm. We make it relevant.
To make it, and so I would be more appreciative of this piece of information. Yeah.
Trey, do you have any response?
Yeah, I do, because like if I ask her about the same stories or the same situation, she would be like, "I told you this. You should know it already." You'll do that.
So is this tit for tat?
It's
or
not
is
tit for
this...
tat. I'm just saying though,
Okay.
you're asking of me for something that you wouldn't do.
I'll be sure to make sure if you ask me to repeat something that I
Okay,
will be
good.
open to it.
I'm glad that you are immediately responsive, cooperative, what is presented, you know, and you are taking the use of what we are discussing. Okay, when he just, you know, reminded you that sometimes it happened with you,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that when I ask you something that you know, you say, okay, I already told you or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad, I like the way you responded.
Thank you, Sam.
Yeah. So, because marital relationship is a learning experience. Every day we learn something new.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to keep our relationship as smooth as possible. You know, let the water go through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's not build a dam
Mm-hmm.
against the current, the currency of the water.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so the life goes on,
Mm-hmm.
understanding goes on, our positive feelings goes on. So we always, you know, and so everything becomes clear, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like hidden, nothing mysterious, nothing like vague. Everything is clear. Clarification is very important
Mm-hmm.
in our relation, so we don't guess. Guessing is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most of the time when we guess negatively.
Correct.
That's our nature.
Human nature to go
Human
negative.
nature. Now, sometimes we guess positively, but if you look at the percentage, most
Mm-hmm.
of the time when we guess negatively.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't want us, or we don't allow ourselves to guess so much.
Mm-hmm.
Make things clear. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, this is me, especially for close relationship. Like with the strangers, you know, I don't have to
Mhm.
be clear, you know. You have your own business, I have my own. Mind your own business, I mind my own business, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but if there is a business between us, yes, we have to be clear about the business.
Mm-hmm.
But for a marital relationship, because it's not business between you, it's more than
Mhm.
business. You have feeling, loving relationship, caring, sharing, supporting, you know, etc. Parenthood, You share a lot of things. So that's why it's important to be clear.
Into like, okay, so let's go with 5 because I got 5 fingers. If there's 5 levels to knowing a person, when you first get together, you know them at this level. But at some point, you're going to have to get deeper. At some point, you're going to have to get deeper. At some point, you're going to have to get deeper. At some point, you're going to have to get deeper. I don't want surface relationships. I've had maybe a 3-tier level relationship with my husband. I want an as deep and intimate relationship with him as I can get. He is comfortable with the depth that we have. I am not, because I know that we can get closer in knowing of each other. That's what it means in the Bible when it says cleave to each other. It means for us to go inside of each other and to become one with our spouse, which means you can't recreate a new history. But I can hear the same story over and over and over again and learn different things about you. And I can see, based off of how that impacted you in your youth, why you move the way that you move today.
And if I say something, the stories never change about my past. You know what you know all the stories, you know everything. And if you want to get in depth or learn more, we live in that. We're going in depth together. You learning me as I learn myself, as I'm still growing today. You involved in that. So how I'm gonna be able to go in depth with you when you already there?
Because I'm asking the question in a different way. Am I
But
not
it's a
allowed?
question about an old story that you know already.
So why?
What do it matter that how did I feel in that moment?
Because I'm curious about what feelings you felt. Like, I'm not allowed to
If
ask you that.
If I told you I was scared for my life, that makes a difference. You know that. That should be already just like common sense. If a bullet flies past you, you're naturally scared for your life. Or who is shooting at me? These are questions that are rhetorical, in my opinion. May not be to you, but just logical thinking. If you wanted to know something, or somebody was thinking in that instant, just think about if you going through that.
So no, I know 99% sure when you, after that moment happened in your life, you went to wherever you went after that moment, you're like, man, such and such was just shooting at me. Man, my fucking heart was pounding. I was like, oh shit. You explained clearly.
You want to know that?
Let me finish my statement.
That's topical discussion in your opinion, in your thought. If the conversation you say I'm about to say to somebody right after I got shot, I think you think that's topical right there.
Well, I'm not asking you to categorize. What I am saying, and the point that I'm making is, after that happened, you had no problem explaining to someone how it made you feel. Now, fast forward 20, 30 years later, and you're retelling the story to me, and I'm like, yo, how did that make you feel? How do you think it made me feel? Well, you had no problem telling somebody how it made you feel 30 years ago, but you think I should not be curious how it made you feel today.
I still told you that. You know that. Everybody knows.
But that's just the example that you just...
That's one example, though.
I know, so I'm asking you, you're saying I shouldn't ask those questions because you think that's something that it should be rhetorical, already known, so that's a question I shouldn't even ask. But I'm saying at some point in your life, you saw it important to tell somebody how you felt in that moment. So why can't you tell me when I ask? Because it's rhetorical? It should have been rhetorical for them too.
Because I told you already, and you asking again.
And as Sam said, and as I said, it's relevant now. And this is just an example. This is our communication style.
Sometimes there's like forgetfulness factor. Sometimes we mention a story.
That's just
See,
an
here you
example.
go. This is what I want to say this. I think she be trying to use me as like a patient. I think both of them be trying to use me as like a patient. Like you want to use your manipulating skills or your psychology, your newfound psychology skills on me and whatever. And I don't feel obligated to participate all the time.
No one's asking him. No, I want to. Go ahead.
Did you
and
hear what I
work
said?
with him.
Good he brought up this issue because it matters for him. Good for you that you said what you said. Okay. What do you think about what he said?
First, it's not a newfound skill. I've always had this skill. We are in the space that we're in today because I have manipulated and taken him wherever I wanted to take him. The thing is that he is aware of what I am capable of doing. He thinks that I am teaching him how to think. He's not a thinker, and he doesn't know that he's not a thinker.
See,
Most people
that's
aren't.
almost an insult.
You can receive it however you choose to receive it, but the fact is, most people don't think. They just go through life with their brains turned off. You went through psychology, so I'm sure you learned this. Most people, if they turn their brains off, they can still go through their life because they don't have to think. You get in your car, you drive to work, same traffic patterns because most people drive in the same freaking lane. You come, you unlock your door, you sit down on your computer, you turn on your computer, you type the exact same notes you type, you do all the same stuff. You're having the exact same conversation with us. You're going to have maybe 4 or 5, 6 times today. You can live your life without using your brain. That is most people. So what I am challenging him to do is, look, if you feel a certain way, why do you feel that way? Do you feel that way because you were told to feel that way? Do you feel that way because a certain something happened in your life that caused you to take on that feeling? Or do you truly feel that way? I'm asking you. Because if you are trying to raise my children, and I say mine because I'm very protective in this statement that I'm making, if you are trying to raise my children off of a skewed view of life, I need to figure out where that view came from, because now you're transferring that into my child and you don't even know why you're transferring it.
What if I don't agree with some of the things that you call yourself transferring to them? Because your ideologies are not correct all the time either.
I didn't say they're correct. What I'm saying is,
the way that you parent is not
I
correct
know
all the time
exactly why I do the things I do. Do you know exactly why you do the things that you do?
Of course.
You don't.
How can you say that?
Because I've asked you multiple times and you just be like, it should be known why I'm doing what I'm doing. You don't even know why you're doing it, or you be able to say it. Now, Sam, you're getting into how we communicate. So this is the work we need help with. We don't need help with all this other shit we've been doing these past 2 meetings. This is what we have an issue with.
Okay. He presented a new issue that he doesn't like to be treated as a patient. Another thing, when you said there are things that I need to teach you, and his response was that this is an insult. So the relationship between you is not like therapist, patient, nor teacher, student. He's not your student, and he's not your patient. Okay, that's how he felt, right? You felt that she was teaching you or doing therapy on you?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I heard from him. Okay, I know your intention. You are trying to make the treatment of the children the best as much as it can.
Mm-hmm.
I want the same thing, man. My kids too.
And he has the same intention.
Does he know how, though?
But
Does he have any ideas how to improve on a situation that's already been happening?
Andre knows.
I'm 49 years old. I don't know
Age has nothing to do.
nothing.
You literally have just changed your parenting style. Why did you change your parenting style? Because I insisted it take place. You would have nothing to change if you knew in 49 years how to do it. But we have completely restructured our entire family based off of your efforts or mine. My efforts. I have forced you into the position that we are in order for our family to be progressive. So don't sit here on the same old BS, because all you're doing expressing is what you have pretended to be changed, because you would not be saying the things that you're saying right now if you actually internalize what I have been presenting to you. Here's the thing, Sam. I'm not trying to be his parent. I'm not trying to be his teacher. I'm not trying to treat him as a patient. What I know is you have to live life intentionally. You have to learn new skills. He's like, I'm 49 years. I've known who I am since I was 5 years old. Well, you can't take what you've known since you were 5 years old into the next 4 decades of your life and be like, I know what I know. No, you don't. There's more learning to do. There's more growth to do, and we need to change. Look, I don't know about your culture, but in our culture, slave mentality, beating our children into submission has been the way that we raise our fucking kids. And I'm not doing that no more, Sam. And I had to force that into our home. I had to enforce it.
If this is an issue like the physical discipline, let's say.
Mental, the way that we speak to each other, all this stuff needs to change.
If you see that any treatment that comes out of Andre that would be not serving the well-being of your kids, here you can make your present your issue, okay, between of course you and him, not in the presence of the kids, that the way he talked to the kids, or if he has physical approach with them, this can be discussed also in a way that you both look into the best way of treatment, because he also wants his kids to be raised up the best way, so they don't have any bad feelings or negative feelings or whatever. So yeah. So if you have concerns about his style of parenting, but we don't judge the whole style. That we say, okay, Andre, look, you have old-fashioned of parenting the kids.
Sam, I discipline. It's corporal punishment with me when the kids is messed up. When they do something terribly bad, where I just know they need their ass whooped. They need a butt whooping because they know they did wrong, and they tore up something. They did something bad, just either morally wrong or just hard-headed wrong, or whatever they did. It was bad, and that's when I go into action. I stopped myself from yelling. I stopped myself from cussing all over the place. I don't even do that no more. I noticed the things in what she said that need to be changed, and I changed them. So, but I don't discipline the same way that I did with my set of kids that I even had, because I know that's the old way.
Okay.
And where did the change come from?
You can say you changed, but I can say I changed too, because you gave me direction to change the situation. Okay, but let me finish talking. You gave direction to change the situation, but if I don't,
direction.
it ain't about that. I'm talking about the situation, about me changing my behaviors toward parenting.
Where did those changes come from?
Oh, if you want to be acknowledged for that, that's fine.
That's the whole conversation.
It's the conversation.
The conversation is you don't want me to give you direction because I think you're a patient of mine. But also that direction that I gave you has made you a better parent. So you were telling me to shut up and help you in the same sentence. You can't have both. If you want me to stop feeding into you, hey, let's try this. And you're like, you're talking to me like I'm a kid. You're treating me like a patient. No, I'm trying to get you to a point where you know why you do what you do.
You're trying to psychoanalyze me for every little
by
thing.
asking you why. Why do you feel that way? Let's go. I'm gonna demonstrate for you, Sam. Go ahead. Let's talk. I'm gonna demonstrate to you exactly our problem.
To make it simple and easy for all of us. Okay, if we have a concern, like we don't want, let's say, our kids to be disciplined in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
We want to exclude this approach. Let's say if corporal punishment is using with them as an effective way of educating the children. Okay, now if we want to make a change about this specific issue, okay, it's not like my word against your word. It's basically the discovery of scientific studies that, okay, they studied a group of people, those were taught or disciplined in a certain way, another group taught or disciplined in another way, and the outcome was different. So it's not my word against your word. It's not Lani against Andre. This is, we have to make sure. It's let's figure out what is the best. Even don't make it.
I changed.
like-
I adapted.
Yeah.
That's no problem. with
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
I always, and here go the thing about our whole relationship. I always adapt. I always change. I always do.
Okay. Yeah.
But
I mean, even if you have.
But she
reservation,
She changes too, like all the time.
You may have reservation over his behavior or vice versa. We don't want to treat each other like that. Me versus you. My word against your word. No, this will lead you into a conflictual zone. It's not me against you. It's not my word against your word. It's what is the best for our kids. Let's discuss it. Let's find. Let's research it. Let's figure out what is it. Without showing that. Okay, sit and listen, because I'm an expert person on this subject, and you have to obey me.
Can I?
Yeah, go.
Okay, I agree with discussion. Our concern is I will offer a suggestion. I will observe something and I say, hey, here's a best practice based off of my observation. He will either say it's fine how it is, or he will offer no additional way of rectifying the situation. So what I have told him is, look, I'm offering a solution to a standing problem. I'm offering a solution. We have to do something. So standing still is not an option. I have a solution on the table. You're not offering anything. And so if you have nothing to offer and how we've done it cannot stand, which means the only thing on the table is what I suggested. So it is not my way or else. It used to be that way. That is the way that I ran my household prior. His issue is he's so used to being, I feel that he is so used to being dominated by myself and other women, that he's been raised and been in alignment with. But he's so used to me just my way, my way, my way. I have now backed up because I understand the error in that. So I have now backed up and say, hey, I need you to lead this family. Well, he's never led the family. So he's mad at me for asking him to do something he's never had to do. And so, but he's under somewhere in there, I feel, he feels he has led this family. But if he could be honest with himself, I have led this family. We have done everything I wanted to do simply because he wants me to be happy, and having my way is making me happy. That is the past. So I agree with you.
Just having your way is not leading.
I have led this family.
Okay,
We've gone in my direction is what I'm saying.
Let you do that.
Exactly. I just said you've allowed it to happen to make me happy. Isn't that what I just said?
Yes. Do you want to be happy?
My happiness is having a partner, which means, hey, this is my idea.
You think that I'm not a leading the family because I let you do what you want to do, but I do lead the family in all kind of stuff. It's.
This past Sunday, you were supposed to structure a day for us to do whatever. You didn't structure shit or anything. That was your assignment. You didn't do your homework. That was your opportunity to show up and lead and say, hey, family, you were supposed to structure a day. That was your homework, remember? You were supposed to structure 2 hours for this, 2 hours for this, 2 hours for this, 2 hours for this.
Yeah, yesterday was Mother's Day.
You still could have structured it.
You didn't want to do nothing.
What does it got to do with me? You still could have structured, okay, kids, let's go ahead and handle this. Okay, kids, let's go ahead and handle this. Let's take care of this for your mom. You could have structured anything. You chose not to do anything in your excuse, because that is an excuse. It was Mother's Day. You don't drop the ball. Just what did you structure? What did you structure?
I didn't structure anything.
You were supposed to structure. That is leading. That is leading. Our family needs structure, and this is what started the argument. Our family needs structure, and we are looking to him to create the structure, and he's like, we still ain't got no structure.
What does structure look like to you? What type of family structure do you? What did that look like?
What does it look like for you? This is your family. You tell us how you want your family to move, and we will reinforce that which you say you desire. But you're giving us nothing, and then you get mad at me for giving something.
I want people to work. I want people to keep the house clean. I want people to. it's basic stuff.
No, it's not basic stuff, because if it was basic stuff, it would be happening. Something needs to change, and that's the thing. He stops at it's basic stuff. No, we got to dig deeper, because we have a problem in saying basic stuff. Common sense isn't solving the problem, and that's our problem.
And then if I go into the discipline part, then that's a problem. Because kids don't listen at all.
If that's how you choose to get structure,
so
our time is up.
Yeah, let's plan for next session how to communicate parenting skills.
That's not even our problem, Sam. Like,
no, that's an example about a communication issue. You see when there are differences, how we deal with differences. Like you want something and you present your views, and then he disagree, and then he make his presentation or his views, and you still disagree with him. So there are differences and disagreements. So how we handle differences and disagreements. Also, it takes communication skills and problem solving skills to process those issues.
I believe that we have different levels of communication skills and problem solving skills, and that's where we're stuck at, because his default is it's common sense. Well, there's no such thing as common sense, because what Sam to believe is common sense is different than what I believe to be common sense, what Andre believes common sense.
You just said there's no such thing as common sense.
There's no such as common sense. There isn't.
Okay,
what he thinks everyone should know is different. What you think everyone should know is different than what everyone should know. See, I don't even believe there's anything such as common sense, which means common sense isn't that common. Go ahead, Sam.
All right. Okay.
So now you're irritated and mad.
No, because
I see your lip poking.
No, I'm not irritated. Sam is trying to end the. No, Sam is trying to end the session. So go ahead, Sam, end the session.
Yeah. Again, I would like to remind you about the I statement and you statement. Because we're becoming judgmental, and once we become judgmental, the level of communication will go down. So, especially when we use the you statement. So, remember how you statement need to be and how I statement need to be. Okay, in order to make the communication smoother, because it's a goal by itself to make the communication as a pleasant event, not creating tension. Because once we feel the tension during our discussion or communication, then we become defensive.
No, I receive that. I don't know.
Okay.
There's something there, and hopefully through continued meetings with you, we'll get to it. I know what you're talking about. I'm very much aware of of that, and so that's not it. It's something else that's between us that we're bumping into, and maybe in a couple of sessions it'll reveal itself.
You can clarify that. You will have the chance to, if there are some points that need to have some light to be shed on, we will do that also.
Yeah.
So everything will be processed.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. Okay. But I would like to, at the end of the session, to have the feeling, the optimistic feelings, that every problem, for every problem, there's a solution. Okay? If we don't reach a resolution right now, there will be a resolution later on.
So I love my wife. I will always be resolution. I will always find a resolution to deal with the situation. I'll always be here, and I'll always be changing, because I'm gonna be there for her. I love her, you know, but I've still got my opinion and my thoughts and my beliefs and how I live too. It's hard for me to change me.
It's not you. You are not your ideas and your thoughts. You are separate than that. If you were your ideas and your thoughts, you would still believe in Santa Claus. But you've changed your ideas and thoughts, and boom, there's Andre still exists, even though Santa Claus doesn't anymore. So for you to say that I'm trying to change you is just fallacious in itself. Like, we could go, Sam.
Okay.
You have a wonderful day, Sam.
Oh, same to you.
Thanks.
See you next week.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Take care.